you can see here just how easy it is to see this, see forward, and then up there if you needed to, like a regular rear view mirror. The quality is super good. It's 2K. I do have the screen protector on there too, so it looks that clear even with like the little screen thing. I need to peel that a little later, but this is also bigger than here. But also what I can do is I can turn that off since I have it up here now and have more screen real estate, so that's great as well. So today we're actually going to fix this. This is the mirror of the Cybertruck. It is very small, it is very dinky, and it really doesn't serve a purpose. We're gonna fix that today. We're gonna be installing the streaming rear view mirror. And so this is a product from Honcho. This is actually, I think, our first one we've ever done from them. But this one I actually really like because it isn't like this shape. The box is deceiving. Let me show you what it looks like. So opening the box, you get a dear customer letter. You get a warranty and support card. And then here you get all of the goodies. First off, let's go ahead and look. We have some power options. We have some adhesion promoter. If you don't use them, save them for a spoiler or something else you may want to install. We have the rear camera. So this is one of the things that I actually really like about this version. This one I think is very aesthetically pleasing. It's very flat angled. I like that. It fits the aesthetic, I think, way better. So that is why I like this option. You have your cord for the rear camera. You have a front camera. So this can actually support a front camera. We, however, are not doing a front camera because really all I care about is the rear. That's gonna get taken out of context. But if you want to, you certainly could. And you could just mount it right up there. You could mount it maybe up top, somewhere discreet out of the way, but I don't really need that. I use the rear view camera for the rear view. What we have here is the mirror. Yes, it is large, it is in charge, but I think when you put it up here, it's not gonna look as big as it does just like in your hand kind of situation. And some of the other nice things, like this piece is really nicely done, all like injection molded. It literally matches the OEM version, so I really love that. It's even got a spot for that little fold down door right here, that slot right there, that comes out of here. So you can still leave that door all intact and everything. But the nice thing with this is it can live feed from this camera that we're gonna put back there. That's the important part. That's why I want it, because I would like to be able to see back there. What is on the screen is nice, but having this above the bed is nice because you can see what's in the bed if your tonneau is open. Make sure stuff's not moving around if you're actually using your truck for truck stuff. But two, you can also see a broader range. So that is why I like it so much. So we're just gonna get right into this install. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and use our little spudger here, and right here you can stick it in. And this piece tends to go flying, so you might wanna put a finger behind the back. See what I said? Tends to go flying. And then that will take this down. Just like so, and we can put that to the side. But to give you guys an idea, we have the OEM and we have the new one. So, I mean, big difference, but I like how this one's square and not like rounded off, because we're in a Cybertruck. Round things don't exist here. Okay, so I wasn't quite happy with the way things were going. So it is a new day. I slept on it, I thought about it. And the way the wires were going, up here under the gear selector is too tight for my vehicle. And then even running it out between the housing and the gear selector is too tight of a tolerance, again, for my vehicle. So for these two wires coming off the mirror, I actually took our housing right here, and you can see this side is untouched. This side, I did a little notch. I sanded it, made sure there's no sharp edges, and that is what I will use to get my wires pushed through. And then I'll run them along the outside of this, tucking them in as best I can. I just must have a Cybertruck with a very, very tight tolerance. So if you do, you can do this same way. It's really up to you. But that is how I'm doing it, because unfortunately couldn't get it under the gear selector, couldn't fit it out of this gap right here. I just have a very tight tolerance truck. I guess that's a good thing. Feed these through up here. And then we are going to take a little bit and push that up as we do this. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and push the rest of these wires out up this gap. Then we can go ahead and take our gear selector and we're gonna go ahead and connect that back in. There we go. Pull that down. And just like that, we're good. But now at least this looks good. I mean, it doesn't look that bad, especially once we get these all routed up and kind of tucked in as good as we can. I don't think that's gonna look that bad. So I wanted to show you what we did down here. One, this piece has to come off, so you just take right here, pull it out, and then this up, and boom, you get that out. Then we went ahead and back here, it's actually an OEM blue connector, but we had some other things hooked into it, other accessories. We went ahead and just tapped into that, and then the other half actually goes into this little connector right here. So I went ahead and tucked everything, got all the power hooked up and all that. We'll just get all this tucked back under there. There's plenty of room behind here. And then this wire is our power wire. So then what we're gonna do is take that power wire, run it up along here on the inside, and then I'm gonna go on the inside of the side curtain here. So you don't wanna hit that. So we're gonna go over that and then pop out like right here and get everything tucked in under here to connect to power. Then we're also gonna get a line run through here, over here, and then we'll find a place to jump between here and then under all these seals to run to the back, so that way we can put the camera up there. And the camera wire, camera's right here, and camera wire is this one. It's got the red caps over it. Keep those red caps on while you're installing so you don't mess up the pin on there. Okay, so we are going to start in the back of the truck. I'm gonna show you exactly how we got this wired. So we went ahead and popped this panel off. There's actually a bolt on either side. One that goes here, I took off. And one that goes right there, that's in, so you can kind of see that. And you will use a T27 for that. And that way I couldn't run the wire right down here. Now you could put the camera right here at the leading edge and maybe see a little bit more, but then you have wire to deal with. So I don't know, I decided to go right here so the wire is more hidden, because if you move this up, you'd have a wire going like between here and here. I don't like that. But I measured, got it exactly dead center, we're good. It actually sticks really well to the Abstract Ocean liner that we already put on here. I haven't pulled off the little red tab yet. David already asked what it is, but that's what it is. Anyway, so line goes under there, and we have it tucked in. You can see right where it comes through. We have it tucked in nicely up there. We did use 2 little tabs just to keep things up out of the way, because you don't want the tonneau to get it, and ran all the way to the edge there, in which case we made the jump up through here, and this just popped right up, and then you can see the wire right there, and it goes down this hole, which then pops out right here. And we actually removed this. I just got it all put back up there and tucked it all back up in there. Hopefully you can see that all the way to the front. I didn't have to take this off. I thought I would, but I was able to just put it in the grooves and then push it back up under here. And I did just pull this down just to make it easier to get this seal out. For over here, to get the seal back in properly, I did undo this 10mm bolt, pulled this down a bit so that I could get that seal up in there perfectly, because we don't want any leaks. And then the wire comes here. We are going to jump it, kind of just like that. And then we'll go ahead and put the door seal back over it. And then we'll run this wire along with our power wire straight through to the other side, like so. Then we'll plug it in, tuck all our wires, our extra, back up under here, because there is a lot of space under here. It's good for wires and stuff. So you can see we basically almost fully removed the front seal just to get in here a little easier, but I'm gonna go ahead and tidy it up. So that is the install for the streaming rear view mirror. Now some tools that helped me with my install are a 10 mil. If you don't have 20 of these already, do you even car work? I used a little screwdriver to help get some of the connectors off. I did have to use some tweezers because I dropped some things. I used a Sharpie and tape measure to make sure the rear camera was centered. I had a little pick tool to help remove some of the connectors as well, and of course their pry bar. Again though, you probably wouldn't even need half these tools, just be careful. But let me show you how it's working. Okay, so here's what it looks like from the driver's seat, and we can of course reposition it and everything like that, kind of how we like it. It does say please insert SD card. We will get to that later. So you see it on, and when you close the door, it turns off just like that. That's perfect. So you don't want it just sitting on. And then it's gonna do a little boot up sequence here. It does take a few seconds until it actually does boot up. But the nice thing is like we can completely reposition this. So the way I have it, you can actually go kind of low, but like here I can at least see in here, someone's playing a video game on the TV in the house. But the nice thing is like if the tonneau is closed, I can just do something like that. And that is a super great view, especially while driving. So, I mean, I'll probably keep it on something like that personally. If you have multiple cameras, you can switch between them. I think you can even do like side by side. You can do playback. Here you can do everything. I haven't played too much on here. Voice off, thank you. Wi-Fi, auto record, English, yada yada. Right there you can put an SD card. Finally have like the live rear view, so that means down here we don't need to have that on the screen, we can just have it up here. So definitely let me know what you think down below, and of course they are hooking you guys up if any of you want to do this yourself. Feel free to, and you can use the coupon code down below and get a nice discount off a purchase. But that's basically it for this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Really, the install is not that difficult. Now, the big thing, I did make it a little bit more difficult because the way I routed the wire, the way I wanted everything, but you know, if you've seen any of our install videos, we install things so that you don't notice any of the wires. Everything's completely hidden. That's really how we do it. And so I didn't want this to be any different. As always though, a thumbs up if you enjoyed that video. Go and click here to subscribe here for some other ones, and we'll see y'all on the next one. Bye.